Oh, okay. Hi, Miss Randy. This is just a regular thing I was doing for science, just for fun. I wanted to send this to you because, well, I thought it was cool, and I thought you would like it for science. So, today, my mom, or actually no, today the printer was on, and my printer was on, and like I got this weird little pop-up on the side of the screen that said ink low. So I was like, okay. So I looked inside of the printer. I looked inside. Let me turn this on so I can get the ink colors out. Wait. Okay. But so yeah. The ink was really low. So I decided to take it out, and I saw that the capsules were all different. Now, let me show you all these ink colors. Oh, okay. Now, so the first one I'm going to start with is the blue. You can tell right there, it's all empty, but up here is the sponge. So it's filled up with a lot, as you can tell. I actually have a piece of paper right here. This ink is like, how should I say it? The ink, the camera's falling. The ink is really thin. I don't know how to explain it. The ink is not thin, but, I cannot fix this camera. Okay. The ink is really like, how should I say this? It's not as thick as regular ink would be, so it's not just gonna fall like straight through the paper. So I'm going to demonstrate what it does. So this one, if I stamp it, never mind. That's not gonna work. I had an idea for that, but that's not gonna work. Anyway, so here again, the sponge is filled up with all of this ink right here. And where is the blue one? Also, I decided to do this. My hypothesis was that basically that there was air, different like air molecules were gonna dry up them differently, but I'll get to that part after. So I had one wet one, one dry one. I stuck one in water and dipped it in there. I stuck one, I didn't stick it in anything, but one was wet, one was dry. And then I put the dry one in, and as you can see, this one's the wet one because you can tell that the ink dripped down, and this one's the dry one because you can tell that the ink just stayed there, exactly on the cotton swab. So when I did this, I left them all out for the same exact amount of time. Now, the only thing about this was I was really scared because I didn't want it to dry up too much where it dried up like the wet one too fast. And I had to go take a shower. So when I went to go take a shower, I was like, oh no, I don't want it to dry up that fast because I want to be able to see the results while it's still wet. So anyway, so yeah, that one was like that. That's the cyan one. It's pretty cool. And then the thing I figured out is that the sponges, they don't carry that much. Look, they as soon as you squish it, none actually comes out. And just letting you know, Miss Randy, this ink on my fingers, it actually comes off a little easy. But I started doing this, but when I took a shower, it came off. So when I put this on there, I'm going to show you the difference after I'm done. I'm just gonna do that, bam, do that, bam. Okay, so it's gonna look like a marker, but just because it's a cotton swab. Now that we got that one out of the way, here's magenta. Magenta, this one wasn't that good because, well, I accidentally mixed it with different colors. So I'm gonna have to tell you the whole process of this, which might take a little while, but still. So first, again, the wet one and the dry one. You can tell on here, this one's a little black, which was the wet one. It absorbed a little bit of the black one. So basically, yeah, that's how that one is. But anyway, here's the dry one. And yes, this one was actually very different because I stuck this one in more than the wet one. So it's actually a little bit of ink out. Oh, wow. It wasn't even a little. It's actually a lot. Wait. 1 second. Let me clean this up real quick. Uh-oh. Okay. Just put that right there. And then I'm glad I came prepared because, that's a water bottle. I'm glad I came prepared because I have an oil. This is faucet water. I planned this. I have a pastel drew on paper, I guess I could say. You gave me those pastels, by the way. And I did a test where if I put the ink on the pastels, it doesn't go straight through the paper. The pastel kind of absorbs the ink somewhat. So yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a little bit of water in this cap. I'm glad it's a sports cap. Okay, now, where was it? Oh, okay, now, I'm gonna show you when I put this. Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do. I mixed up my hypothesis. I mixed up my idea. So I'm gonna put a little water on here real quick. I'm just cleaning this mess up. Okay, now, as I was saying, with this one, the magenta has a really light color. So when I did the wet one, it turned into a pink really fast, like looked like a really hot pink. And then when I did the dry one just stayed its natural color, which I think was really cool because, well, all the other ones changed colors because of air molecules and the way that it would react to time. So that's the magenta one. So here, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say, here is the yellow one. It actually kind of looks like an orange, but you know, they say it's yellow, so it's yellow. Drop the cotton as well. But yeah, here's the yellow one. So this is the one that I wanted to dip in water. I got some things to mix. So I'm going to dip this yellow one in water, and I'm going to show you this weird thing that happens. When you dip the yellow in water, the water, it goes straight down. It goes straight down and absorbs it at the bottom and then rises to the top. You can see right there. Camera won't focus. You can see about like right. Oh no, the camera won't focus. But like right there is where it starts to sink. So which I think is really something that's really cool. Oh no, I gotta set this camera back up. This is gonna be a hassle. Okay. Oh wow, that was pretty easy. But yeah. I'm gonna do this for you. Okay, wait. Did it. Okay, anyway. So yeah, that's what I think is really cool about that one. And also, when it gets wet and it's this one, and it's yellow, it actually, the color changes into like a honey type color, I guess I can say. While the dry one, it just stays dry. But something I really think is weird about the dry one is that I dipped it in blue just cause I wanted to see what was gonna happen. And turns out that when you rip out the hairs, what would it be called? I'm not sure what I could call this. I'm not sure. But when you rip out I'm trying to think of what I can call this. The cotton. That's what it's called. When you rip out the cotton of the cotton swabs, you can see that the strands are all a different color, even though over here particularly the blue is right here. Even when you pull it out right in front, it's still always yellow, which I think is really cool. But on here you can tell that it has that color, but that's because that hair is really thick. If you were to pull it apart, it wouldn't be like that. Now, oh, that's cool. But yeah, that one is the yellow one. Now, here's where it gets cool. So I'm going to show you something really cool about the two black ones. Now, this black one is how should I say it? This black one is empty. This one is empty, and this is the main source of black. Here is this one. The sponge is also empty. So when you put it on the sponge, you barely get any ink because, well, the sponge is like dried out, and it also has two compartments of liquid. This one, make sure that the liquid goes up here, and then there's a little hole right here. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but there's a little hole right there that leads it to the sponge. I'm guessing the sponge is really so dry that none of it is even right here or down here, because when you squeeze at the bottom, barely any ink comes out, which I think is really cool. And I left this one out. How should I say it? So actually, this one is dry. This one is wet. I know it's really weird because you can see that this one doesn't look like the water traveled down, but this one looks like the water traveled down. This one's wet, this one's dry. And something I realized is that the color started to fade over time when I left it out. So that's what I think is really cool. And if you look at this one and this one, no, well, this is the one that goes right there. This one's full, and this is like the second black one, the backup if this one runs out. But yeah, I put this one in there since this compartment is full and it's going to the sponge. This sponge is really soaked and has a bunch of ink in it. So as soon as you squeeze it, it starts to rise up to the top. I'm not gonna do that because I don't have a napkin or paper right here, but still, that's what happens. That's really cool. And when I left this one out over time, color didn't fade. The color didn't fade at all. This stayed the same. This stayed the same exact color as it was when I put it in the sponge. And if you looked at it before this color faded, they kind of actually look the same, even though the color faded. It's really cool. I think that's cool. And then I also did a test with this one to see if anything would happen if one was dry, I left it out, one was wet, and I left it out, and this one was also dry, I think. Yeah, this one's dry. But I left this one out. I only put a little ink on it. Somehow it traveled down. I put a little ink on it, and this one is a pretty dark color. This one is somewhat of a faded color. I know these might look the same, but this one's dark and this one's a little faded somewhat. But it's on camera, so it might not look as faded as it actually is, but it's pretty faded. And then this one is, I say this one is kind of the same as this one, but this one's just a little bit darker than this one. Yeah, I can see that one. That one's a little bit darker, and it has a couple white hairs on it. So yeah, that's really cool about that. And I left these out at a different time, so I didn't let these dry at the same exact time. I stuck one in, left it out, And then once that one dried, I stuck the other one in, let it dry. And yeah, I did that. And that's all. Thank you, Miss Randy, and have a wonderful day.